Then we see the people struggling to get Wilbur into the crate that says Zuckerman's famous pig. And they think that Jeffrey is going to the fair too, which of course he has to stay home with his mom. Then at the fair, they actually enjoyed themselves, with Avery having some money from his pop. And he wanted to get a frozen custard, some raspberry soda pop, and a cheeseburger. Believe me, dude, I've seen this cartoon before. And Fern decided to stay with Wilbur, just to make sure he felt right at home. Well, your mother and I are going to look over deep freezers and tractors. We'll meet you here when it gets dark. And then Fern comes across Henry Fussy. That's who it was. And of course, Fern was growing up. Later that night, Templeton was sent on his mission to actually get a piece of paper that says humble. It says humble. I hope you're satisfied. Oh, I forgot to mention the part where Charlotte encounters Uncle. No name, just call me Uncle. Sure, what do you think I was, a spring chicken? That's a good one, eh, sister? And Templeton told everyone about their satisfaction. I hope you're satisfied. I came to this fair to enjoy myself, not to deliver papers. And then, a few seconds later, he actually sees the food that's lying on the ground. The goose was right. This fair is a rat's paradise. Bye-bye, my humble Wilbur. Fare thee well, Charlotte, you old schemer. This will be a night to remember. A fair is a veritable smorgasbord after the crowds have ceased. Each night when the lights go out, it can be found on the ground all around. Oh, what a ratly feast. Yeah, I know I'm going a little too fast. Lots of popcorn, apple cores, banana peels, and soggy sandwiches for frozen verticals at the fair. A fair is a veritable smorgasbord. After the gates are shut. Each night when the lights go out, it can be found on the ground all around. That's where a rat can glut. Then we see Charlotte finishing her masterpiece, her magnum opus, which is basically 514 eggs. And of course, she also wrote Humble. Then we cut to a few minutes later where we see a marching band, with the leader looking an awful lot like Colonel Sanders from KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken. And the band leader told them to be escorted to the grandstand immediately. Then we see the mayor of the beloved town, again voiced by John Stevenson. But about Mr. Zuckerman and his distinguished pig. And of course, the Barbershop Quartet sings another fabulous song. He's some pig. He's some terrific, radiant, humble pig. He is. You know the drill. Then a few minutes later, we see Wilbur sobbing over the fact that Charlotte was about to die. So, because Charlotte didn't have that much time to live. So, Wilbur asked Templeton to actually get the eggs for her. Thus, the eggs would be safe.
So, it's old Templeton to the rescue again, is it? Templeton, please hurry up. So, it's hurry up, Templeton, is it? And what thanks do I get for these services? I would like to know. Templeton, I'll make you a solemn promise. Get Charlotte's egg sack for me, and from now on I'll let you eat first when Lurvy slops me. You mean that? Cross my heart. It's a deal.
Use extreme care. I don't want a single egg harmed. Oh, there's got things in my mouth. It's worse than caramel candy. Good old Templeton.
Your children are Charlotte, your children are safe.
And of course, Charlotte actually sings the song Mother Earth and Father Time before she died. And then Wilbur was escorted home, where all the other farm animals lived. And Wilbur's life was spared. It's all thanks to Charlotte. Her memory will be treasured forever. Believe me, dude, I've seen this cartoon before. I know how it works. And of course, Wilbur watched over Charlotte's eggs throughout the fall, winter, and early spring. Then we see Templeton have like a good number of kids, or niños. And then, out of nowhere, all of Charlotte's kids come out. Well, 511 of them went out to the world to make webs for themselves, with only 3 remaining. And that's Joy, Urania, and Nellie.
This doorway was once the home of Charlotte.
She was loyal, trustworthy, beautiful, and royal to the end. Her memory will be treasured forever.
Oh, that's gonna take us a lifetime.
A lifetime. That's what we all have.
Come see. Charlotte's daughters, Joy, Urania, and Nellie. Salutations.
And thus we end the story. It's not very often when a true friend comes along and is a good painter and a good writer. And Charlotte was both. Thus ends the story. With the reprisal of Zuckerman's famous pig being played over the credits. Well, how can I rate Charlotte's Web? It's got some great humor, some great emotional parts in the film, outstanding animation by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, and incredible music by the Sherman Brothers. You know, Robert B. Sherman and, Robert and Richard. And the release dates do differ depending on what country you live in. It originally came out in America on March 1st, 1973. Then it came out on March 29th in West Germany and August 11th in Sweden and August 25th in Japan. So, and in September of 1981 in Australia. And the voice acting is also just pitch perfect, especially with the late great Paul Lynde, because he knew how to give the character a lot of zest and a lot of comedic talent that no other comedian has done at the time, like Dean Martin or Jerry Lewis, or even the fucking Three Stooges for that matter. Because Paul Lynde was truly unique in his comedic style. In fact, almost as great as George Carlin. Well, I give the film a 10 out of 10. 5 stars. 2 thumbs up. Before I do my usual sign off, I want to give you a little bit of the history lesson. Charlotte's Web, or Wilbur und Charlotte if you live in Germany, was originally published in 1952 by an American artist named E.B. White. And for some reason, the book became an instant seller overnight. Thus, it became popular in like over 20 languages, like German, Japanese, Latino Spanish, French, and Brazilian Portuguese. Yes, even Italian and South Korean. When the movie came out, when the film was first being produced in 1972, Joseph Barbera himself actually went to E.B. White's house and went over some plans with E.B. White himself, with some parts he didn't want changed and some parts that were subjectable. I know how it works. But when the film was released in 1973, E.B. White himself hated it, and he'd rather have Mozart music instead of music by the Sherman Brothers. But that's just his opinion, not mine. And it first became available on video cassette and Laserdisc in 1979. 1 year after Paramount's Grease came out. In fact, Charlotte's Web was actually distributed by Paramount Pictures in certain countries, like Germany, Japan, and Brazil. Okay, that should be it for the video for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment, and as always, amigos, au revoir und auf Wiedersehen.